Hello everybody, this is Adam here for A Strings, and in today's video we are checking out 4 mini amps that are brand new to us here. So we just wanted to get in the room and check them out. So we have 4 different amps from 4 different manufacturers. They're all being made by the same company, but they've all worked in conjunction with each individual company to get these amps. They're a small solid state 30 watt amp, and let's talk through them. So we have the Friedman Mini BE, the Bogner Mini Ecstasy, the Soldano SLO Mini, and the Diezel VH4 Micro. For some reason, Diezel went with Micro as opposed to Mini. Everyone else went with Mini. It's interesting, but hey, that doesn't make it any less, does it? So, like I said, each amp has been designed in conjunction with each individual company, and I think essentially what we're getting is a pedal platform with some more tweaks, some EQs with a 30 watt solid state amp. So this video is just going to check them all out. We're going to run through all 4. We're going to see how they all sound. My chain for today is this beautiful Charvel into one of the heads, and we are into the Marshall. This is the Studio Series 2x12. We're mic'd up with a 57 into our recorder there. We'll go through a few features on each of the heads as we go through. But this is more about us having a bit of fun and playing with these heads. So let's start with the Friedman and see what we get. So the way that I'm going to run these first off is I'm going to go into the front with the EQ set flat, or at 12. What I've done is I brought a little bit of presence in already just from what I can hear in the room. If you know your Marshall speakers, which most of you do, you know that they do run on the slightly darker side, kind of a mid-hump sort of darker side. So I put a little bit of presence in, but nothing too much. The 57 as a mic gets quite a lot of, captures quite a lot of that high end anyway. So we're going to see how they go, and this is obviously more of a high gained guitar as well. So let's see what we got. Now the interesting thing is I'm going to start with the gain right the way off so you can hear just how it sounds. We've got the cut and tight toggle switches both off or on the up position. So this is what we got starting off. I'm on the bridge pickup. And here we go. That's gain off. There's no gain. I'm looking into both cameras to tell you how serious I am. No gain. That's what we've got with 0 gain. And I think we'll find a pattern with each of these heads. They are all in the same stratosphere of gain. So let's dial up a little bit of gain just so we're not off. So let's say we'll do 9 o'clock. And let's play about. So to my ear, it sounds a little bit dark. So I'm going to take a touch there, take a touch there. I'm going to leave it quite MIDI because that's kind of that style. In the room that sounds a bit better, a little bit less muddy. Obviously you are getting the mic'd up sound through a 57, so it does change, and obviously we don't alter the sound of these recordings as we go, so you get that. So it's not EQ, it's not treated to make it, you know, it is what it is. That's what we want, that's what we're aiming for. So let's keep it there for now. I'm going to mess around with the cut and the tight toggles. So there's 3 positions for each, top, middle, bottom. So I think the best way to do it is just probably ride on an E and just see if we can see a difference. I'll go back and forth with some chords as well. So. So that's interesting. So we're getting a little bit more, there's a little bit more focus in the... So there, obviously there's a lot more of that kind of high end. There's a lot more sort of presence there, I suppose. But it is way more focused. It's not as flubby in the room. Again, disclaimer, asterisk, this is just my opinion of what's in the room to my ear. That one is a little bit more refined. It doesn't seem as untamed as this one. That kind of wildness at the top end is tapered off, which is nice. That's probably my favorite of the 3. That's nice. I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to check out the tighter switch, which doesn't really need much explanation, does it? It's going to tighten things up, much like you get on the BEOD pedal. So, same type of thing. That's probably my favorite setting in terms of the cut and the tight. So I've got cut on the bottom, tight on the top. And, you know, EQ-wise, you're always tailoring to your guitar. Let's see how much gain is there. Although at this point, anything more than this is crazy. 12 o'clock. Let's go to 3 o'clock. Do you know what? I was wrong. It is usable there. It is. It's not. You'd assume when your gain is this kind of heavy. When it's that heavy there, you'd expect it just kind of goes a bit mushy and a bit fizzy. But it's cool. You know, it obviously will sound. It will have its levels of fizz. But it's cool. It's good. In terms of like a clean sound, from what we've had, you know, even you know, I'll do middle. I'll split it. You know, that's the gain on 0. And they're not meant to be, you know, they don't, none of them are sold as 2-channel amps or, yeah, they are, you know. It's probably about as clean as I'm going to get that. Cool. Shall we move on? So next up is the Soldano. This is the SLO Mini Super Lead Overdrive. So I've quickly set it up in the same way we did with the Friedman, and I'll do all the same with all of the amps. This one only has 2 switches on the front that we really need to have a look at before we go. We've got normal and deep, and we have a crunch and overdrive. So that's nice. So there are 2 gain stages that we can mess around with here. Normal and deep, I'm imagining that's, again, this is how much research we do. I'm assuming that this is if we need to, what's the word I'm looking for? Compensate for maybe a smaller cab. So we've got a deep option there. We will mess with both so you can hear, but it may just be a thing of the feel in the room. We'll check, we'll see. So this is much like the Friedman. This is the gain all the way down on the crunch channel of the Soldano. Slightly more of a clean tone-ish than what the Friedman can offer. If I go to the middle, you get a bit more body. So I could bring, actually, you know, you could leave it there. Sounds nice. So obviously all I did there was dig in. I went back, I split and then unsplit. But that sounds cool. Very different sound straight away. So it's nice to know that it isn't just that you are getting different flavors and characters with these heads. So let's have a little go. We'll have a mess around. Let's get a little bit more gain in there and tailor that back just for my recorder there, just in case. Okay, so we went from gain 1 on the gain to 2 on the gain, and that's the difference we've got there. So presence is on 0, and it's very, very bitey. So I don't even think I want to bring any presence into this as it stands. The guitar is quite, like I said earlier, it is a bright. There are bright pickups. There are the Fishman Fluence in there, so it's a bright, higher output pickup. So let's have a little mess. I might even, just for the... It already gives you that American overdrive vibe, doesn't it? It already gives you those kind of Van Halen-y vibes. And that's never going to be played in this video room. So let's have a mess around. Let's see how much game we've got on tap. So let's do that, and then we'll look at the toggle switches. And Soldano's is looking good. Up to 12. Up to 9. You can hear that, I hope. This kind of level of gain is a lot more kind of... Compared to like 12, 1 o'clock, starts to kind of get a bit... Yeah, that. Starts to get a bit mushy. Not so much in the gain itself, but behind it seems to be a bit kind of... I don't know what the word is. I want to say swampy, but that's not... That's like a kind of genre more than anything. Does that make sense? Does that... Flubby. It's got very flubby there, whereas I think the sweet spot's about 6. At least for me in the room with this guitar and this cab and all that sort of stuff and all that business. Okay, cool. So let's take it back a tiny bit. I'm gonna take it back to like 11. Cool. I like that. Let's see what this normal deep does. Whether it makes a difference to the mic'd up sound, I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, that makes a difference. I can only apologise to our neighbours profusely. It is a tanning shop next door, and they do like their club and drum and bass. So I can only apologise for my metal. Tough. We're doing videos, as we say, in the valleys. Crunch and overdrive. So keep it at 11. Stay calm, Ad. This is the crunch channel. Jesus. Okay, so it's fizzy and it's hairy and it's all those things. So let's see how much. We've got. Yeah, cool. So we're on about 11 o'clock with the game. Let's go. Let's see where it goes. I'd say it's unusable at that point. No, there's applications. You'll find an application for it. But that, to me, is like... The richness is still there, but you've also... It's like cannabis is the added ingredient at that point. So if they want to use that in their blurb, they're more than welcome. If you can cite it to me as a quote, that'd be lovely. So that's the Soldano. It's great. It's got that American kind of high gain... It's nice. It's lovely. I like it. That was with the EQ all flat as well. I didn't, for me in the room, didn't need to do anything. I'm going to have a mess around just for you, just so we've done it, you know, just so you can tick that box. There we go. Happy now? Next up, it's the Bogner Ecstasy Mini. This one seems to be, so far, the only one that really doesn't play with the gain all on 0, which is absolutely fine. Doesn't have to. We don't expect it to. But we are set the same, ready to go. We've got bass, middle, and treble at midday. Our presence is off at the moment. I haven't played it yet to get a gauge on that. Few more toggle options on this one. We have Variac off and on. That gives us more headroom, gives us a little bit more to play with before hitting those nasty swirlies. No idea. Saturation. Gain, minus plus. It's pretty self-explanatory if you want more. Mid-frequency, we've got low, high, and normal. Obviously, we'll start normal, and we'll go from there. And then a pre-EQ. We've got normal, and we've got the B1 and the B2. So we will play around with those a little bit later on. But first off, let's see what we get. Let's start at 9 o'clock. I can tell the time. 9 o'clock. Holy moly, that is dark. Just coming from the Soldano to that is dark. So, but it sounds beautiful. That's ripping. So, obviously needs something. So let's bring a little bit of presence in. Okay, so let's get ourselves a bit of an EQ first. So, like I said, it's a bit dark, so ask better. Okay, this is interesting. So, I'm going to take the gain back. I got a feeling that this might clean up quite well. Nice, yeah, it does. It does clean up well. I've obviously split the pickups to do that. And obviously, if I dig in. That's majestic. That sounds majestic. So, let me see what I'm doing on here. So we're going to go to 12. We're going to see what we got. Sounds quite, I'm going to tackle this a slightly different way, so that it is quite dark, it's very MIDI, it's actually pushing the cab quite hard as well. So let's have a mess around, we're going to, we'll keep it there, I do want to brighten it up, I do. That's a bit better. So let's have a look at the Variac, and then we're going to do the gain plus minus. So this is the Variac. So this is off. Okay, so drop in headroom there, and it seems to be a little bit more compressed. So obviously variac off gives us the more headroom. You learn something every day. But that is quite, it's still quite usable, and I'd probably say that it's cool. So let's go variac off. That's loud, isn't it? It's loud. It's the loudest, I think, of the three. I mean, I've had maybe the volume slightly more, but slightly more, but nothing major. Gain plus minus. So we are on. And we might be pushing the thingy a bit hard now. So I'm going to actually turn the variac on. Got a bit carried away, I do apologise, but I'm having fun, all of the fun in the sun. There's no sun, it's raining outside. It really is bad. So, mid-frequency, normal, low and high. What I'll do is I'll try my best to run on run on AA, and I'll tweak as I go. Cool, so there's not a huge discernible difference in the room. We'll have a little listen to the recorded sound in a bit and go from there. So, on to the pre-EQ. We're going to start with the normal. I'll do the same thing because it was fun. So, with that being said, variac on, I'll put the gain to minus, I'll keep the mid-frequency as normal, B1 and B2, that's where our presence is, that's where we're lacking. So in the normal position, that's where it's quite... Like if I took these back now, as I had them on the other amp, we're closed off there. I think this is where the magic is. Still needs a little something. B2. Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot. I think it could probably do with, for it to be living its best life. I'd probably say it's about there. I'd probably even bring gain back. This is me. What's going on? Yeah, that loses a bit of body now, so I might give it a couple of bits of more stuff. No, I like that. It's my favorite so far. It's the Bogner. It's the XT Mini. Last but not least, let's go to the Diezel. We're over to the Diezel now. This is the VH Micro. It's the only one that's called itself Micro and not Mini. Did they not get the memo? Perhaps they wanted to stand out. I've never played a Diezel, proper, real big Diezel. I'd love to. If anyone out there is close by and has one, pop one in. I'd love to try one just to see if they're as good in real life as in my dreams. But that's it. So we're going to start this the same way. EQs at 12 o'clock. My master's on about the same sort of place for the recorder. Gain's on 0 at the moment. We're going to bring it in. Deep and presence now. We have just normal knobs on deep and presence. So we'll bring them in and out as we go over them. But that's it. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so here we go. This is a little bit of gain. We're just before 10 o'clock. It's 9:30. Just before 10 o'clock on the gain. Everything at midday. We're going to bring in the deep and presence if we need it. I don't know if we're going to need much presence on something like this with these kind of pickups. But we'll see. Here we go. Just do that for my OCD. Okay, sounds good. Something's missing. Let's try and dial in what is missing. So, what am I lacking? I'm lacking some guts. I don't know if I want to make it kind of flubby. Let's see what the deep does. Still something, there's still something. I'm going to check my tuning. I've dialed in a little bit of deep and a little bit of presence. What I'm very aware of it doing though is flubbing out and being too wishy-washy in that bottom end. So I took the bass back a touch. I wanted a bit more mids, but let's just see how we go. I'm just going to stay on the bridge unless I'm doing something silly. But yeah, let's see what we got. Okay, so the gain is now set to 12. I'm going to see what comes out of it. I realise that I'm half step down already and I've dropped the top. So I'm on thinnish strings, so I'm going to try my best to play lightly so it doesn't kind of swell out of tune. You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so that sounds nice, and it's interesting when you get to like this point of gain, where the things like the definition in those notes and those kind of things come through. So it's nice that it's nice that they do come through, and it doesn't just sound like mush. So I'm going to take it like we did with the others. This is now 3 o'clock on the gain, so this is pretty much as you're going to get with this head. Let's see how it goes. That's pretty, it's still pretty usable. I'm just going to dye my ends and see what happens. I mean, it's usable. It doesn't change a whole lot in terms of what you're getting. I tell you what you do you do lose a tiny bit of that top sparkle, but you do lose a tiny bit of that. So just to do that again. Yeah, you lose a tiny bit, but lose at this point of gain. You know, when you're going crazy, this point of gain, you know, it's much of a muchness. And if you've got a bright guitar, it's there. If you need more presence, it's there. Deep, if you're on a little 1x10 or 1x12, you know, that's going to give you all the stuff you need. So you might not hear it in the room. I'll keep that where it is, but I'm just going to go crazy on the deep. I just want to see how deep, how low can you go. So let's do something silly. I like it a lot. That is killer. That is the Diezel VH Micro. I can only apologise wholeheartedly and with zero sincerity to our next door neighbours for the noise that I've put them through in this video. To know who our neighbours are, you have to find out who we are. We are A Strings. We are a small guitar shop in Wales in the UK. We are at astrings.co.uk. We've got a Facebook, A Strings Guitar Specialists. We've got an Instagram at A Strings UK, and our YouTube, which you are here, so you know where this is because you're here right now. if you like the videos, please do subscribe and follow us and do the things. Because although we don't get in here a lot, because me and Tom both work in the shop, we enjoy doing these videos. So it's very, very satisfying for us when we can see that what we're doing contributes to the betterment of Earth as a planet. So if you like the videos, please just like and subscribe, or just subscribe. You don't have to do both. Just one or the other shows us that you love us. And that's all we're after. That's all anyone's after, isn't it? Just love. So that's it. I've been Adam for A-Strings. We'll see you in the next video. These are all the microamps. And that's it. We've got them in stock. Check them out on the website, astrings.co.uk. That's it. Bye-bye.